With the 2021 season shaping up to be a year-long title fight between Red Bull and Mercedes, more pressure than ever is being placed upon Lewis Hamilton's teammate and fellow Mercedes driver Valtteri Bottas. Coming off the back of yet another season where the Finn largely failed to challenge Lewis for the highest podium positions, it is fair to say that Bottas is coming into the season with a huge amount to prove and not much time to do so. Unlike in 2020, when Mercedes cruised to their 7th consecutive Constructors' title and would have still won the championship even without Bottas' haul of 223 points, Mercedes' position at the front of the Formula One pack, which has gone largely unchallenged during the turbo-hybrid era, seems much less secure. Even from pre-season testing, Red Bull were marked as the favourites for the championship, regularly outperforming Mercedes over the 3 days as both Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas struggled with rear-end stability, with the latter calling the car undrivable. Meanwhile, Red Bull, who have previously suffered with similar issues during testing, racked up consistent track time, with few problems arising from the fairly stable-looking car. Following a less than ideal start for Mercedes during testing, they look to be on the back foot coming into this season, and despite a win at Bahrain for the first race, the team remain quick to admit their relative lack of speed, with engineering director Andrew Chauvelin stating that they don't really have any strengths compared to Red Bull. With their opposition being the extremely strong lineup consisting of the generational talent of Max Verstappen and the powerhouse of consistency that is Sergio Perez, Mercedes are put at even more of a disadvantage, and will, for the first time since he joined the team in 2017, be fully forced to utilise Valtteri Bottas in order to be able to regularly challenge Red Bull at the sharp end of the field. But is this easier said than done? Bottas comes into the 2021 season having finished 2020 a full 124 points behind his championship-winning teammate Lewis Hamilton, in a car that is widely argued to be the best Formula One car of all time. While Valtteri Bottas was by no means prioritised by the team during 2020, being forced not to attack Hamilton for the race lead at the Belgian Grand Prix, many argue that this alone does not excuse the large gulf between the Mercedes teammates. Following his signing to the team at the start of 2017, Bottas has never really been able to achieve what he is believed to have been aiming for, rarely challenging Lewis and achieving only 9 race wins in his total 80 races for the team so far. However, while Bottas is often criticised for not putting up enough of a fight against Lewis, it is also worth asking whether this is a conscious team decision. Mercedes clearly realised that Hamilton, as a multiple times world champion, is an overall better driver than Bottas, so therefore prioritised the defence of his championship over Bottas's occasional race win, preferring that he stays further back so as not to interfere with Lewis's race, but still remains able to pick up significant points in the podium places or just outside in order to help them with their Constructors' Championship fight. While this may be true, young, talented and most importantly Mercedes contracted drivers, such as current Williams driver George Russell, have been waiting in the wings for a Mercedes seat for over 2 seasons now, and questions are beginning to be asked about Bottas' future in relation to these drivers. The Finn is only contracted with the Silver Arrows for 1 more season, so he only has this year to prove his worth and deservingness of the seat. While Bottas is without a doubt a talented driver, can his retention of his seat in a top car be truly justified while young talents such as George Russell are forced to race towards the back of the pack on a regular basis? But what can Bottas do to prove that he deserves his seat? What does he have to pull out of the bag this season to convince Mercedes management that he's still the man for the job? Let's find out. Firstly, he cannot afford to make any major mistakes. Following the Turkish Grand Prix last season, where Bottas spun a total of 6 times and finished in 13th place, his stock price decreased fairly dramatically, and he'll do well this year to avoid any more similarly costly errors. Bottas' worth to Mercedes is almost wholly reliant on his consistency and ability to rack up solid points to support Hamilton, but if he cannot achieve this target on a regular basis, he risks jeopardising his position in the team at a crucial time during his career. Alongside this necessity of consistency for Bottas for the coming season, it is also necessary for him to demonstrate his own ability against Lewis Hamilton by challenging him on a more regular basis and showing both the fans and Mercedes themselves that he is of a similar skill level to his teammate. If he does not do this, however, he will be permanently seen as a strategic second driver who constantly obeys team orders, something which could make him seem like a pushover to future teammates in any future team he may go on to join. While this will undoubtedly be extremely difficult to achieve and will likely be met with initial pushback by Mercedes, if Bottas can prove that he can achieve the same number of points as Hamilton might be able to while he is ahead, he may be able to break out of the obedient second driver shell and take a more active role within the team. This strategy will allow Bottas to both prove his worth and emphasise to Mercedes that he is not as replaceable as what they may believe. Bottas will also require quite a bit of luck with regard to the driver market. Both himself and Lewis Hamilton are only contracted with Mercedes for one more year, and while Toto Wolff has expressed a desire to retain Hamilton past this date, Hamilton may feel that this season would be a good way to end his Formula 1 career on a high by becoming the first driver to achieve 8 world championships before bowing out prior to the major 2022 regulation changes. If this happens, then Bottas can consider his place in the team to be safe, as Mercedes will not want to go into an unknown set of regulations with 2 new drivers. However, if Hamilton chooses not to retire at the end of the season, then Bottas is in trouble as it becomes increasingly difficult for Mercedes to justify keeping George Russell at Williams and leaving him to fight for the last few positions for the 4th year running. In 2021, Bottas finds himself in one of the most decisive moments of his career to date. 2021 will be a true test of both his driving ability and his mentality and mindset coming into the season. If he fails to perform, especially under pressure from Red Bull, then Mercedes will struggle to justify the retention of his seat, will most likely be forced to drop him, most likely in favour of George Russell. Bottas will have to be more tenacious, adaptable, quick and lucky than ever before in his career in order to defend his place at the top team in Formula 1 at the moment. What's your opinion? What does Bottas need to do to keep his seat? Who would you pick to replace him? Where should he go if he loses his drive? Thanks for watching. Leave your view in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe.